are questioning things that we documented with, with for risking our lives, basically risking for, it has been many years doing this, many years doing this. And, we have been risking completely our integrities in places like in mountains in Guatemala, in places, in caravans, our lives have been threatened. And not only so that, in places like in the Darien Gap and in the jungle. Now, I have been asking a few questions and making videos, asking questions to, send directly for basically, the Trump administration, or for people that they are close to the Trump administration, or, undoubtedly to people that they are following the Trump administration. And one of the questions that I asked in a video that I just posted on YouTube, and it is also on X, it is why the Trump administration, it is not declaring El Clan del Golfo cartel from Colombia as a foreign terrorist organization. We're going by Donald Trump on his campaign. His main goal was to tackle illegal immigration, and he talked massively on his campaigns. And he talked about that there were terrorists coming into his country, that there were bad people coming into his country, that they opened prisons to let into his country, and that this was a massive arrival through non-ports of entry, illegally entering to the country of the United States. This campaign was strong by Donald Trump. It was strong, and it got the Latino vote, and he won the election majority because of what it was happening on the, specifically other things that they were extremely important. And now if we go to specifically which cartels generated this massive in the continent of America, which cartel generated more, money out of the trafficking of women, the exploitation of women, the trafficking of children, the trafficking of men through, whatever parts of the world into a jungle, and from there creating tourist packages to send them all the way to the United States of America. This was El Clan del Golfo cartel that is installed in Colombia, and that we were in a firefight in the middle of the jungle with 3 criminals that they belonged to this criminal organization, that they were stealing, robbing, and raping migrants in the middle of the jungle. This not only generates amounts of humongous distribution of cocaine through the whole continent, also extortioning, also kidnapping, also sicarios, but now it generated a massive presence through the Darien Gap, and they manipulated the whole market in cities before departing to enter to the Darien Gap, creating mom and pop businesses, and also these tourist packages with tourist boats, hotels. And the terrorism that I'm talking about is that they did not care about life. Hundreds and possibly thousands of migrants lost their lives inside of the Darien jungle and not outside of it. And the collateral effect that they created, it is that they opened this massive door through Colombia so they can enter into Panama. And from there, the connection was to where? To the United States of America. Market was them. The number one market was them. Also with NGOs, international organizations, absolutely taking advantage of that because they were controlling the Darien jungle. But let me just tell you and explain. I just posted a video of the massive concern that it was the Chinese migrants. Nobody's talking about it anymore. Everybody, it is concentrated on the TDA, Tren de Aragua, Tren de Aragua, Tren de Aragua. It is them, it is them, it is. It was a massive arrival of Chinese migrants, military age males. It is not about just the Chinese migrants and the military age males. It's about who brought them in their mode operandi to smuggle them into the United States of America. It is about who brought them over here and who told them how to get from to point B to point C. What am I talking about? El Clan del Golfo made a package that the migrants from China knew how to get from China, a lot of them to Thailand, a lot of Hong Kong, A lot of them not only to Thailand and to Hong Kong, a lot of them from then to Turkey, from Turkey all the way to Ecuador, from Ecuador to Medellin, from Medellin into the parts of Colombia, Necoclí, to Necoclí into the Darien, from the Darien outside, and from there was the other tourist package that it will get them into Mexico. From Mexico, another tourist package that it will get them into the borders of the United States. They have everything controlled, and they were passing on clients to their cartels. The other cartels in Mexico that they were designated as terrorists, also they were part of this market. Why are neglecting specifically this big, gigantic organization who was massively, enormously operating with trafficking of humans into Congo, risking so many people's lives? A lot of migrants' lives, they were lost. You have a lot of decomposed bodies that they're never going to be found. So when I exalt my boys and when something, it is because I have the truth in the hand, and because I have the evidence that I can prove to say why these people are not also designated as a foreign terrorist organization when they have been doing a lot of harm, smuggling people from, not only from China that I posted this video. It is a clear evidence that it was not only people from Venezuela being smuggled into the Darien Gap. It was from Afghanistan, people from Uzbekistan, people from Pakistan, people from Bangladesh, people from India, people from Nepal, people from Cameroon, people from Angola, people from Burkina Faso, people from all places of the planet, that this organization was controlling the entrances from Haiti, from Cuba, controlling the entrances to go inside of the jungle, risking children, risking women, risking men. I don't know if that is considered terrorism. If we are going by what they have been doing, risking people's and innocent people's lives, using them as, product, because that is what they were. For them, they were product. It was nothing else. So a lot of people question, yeah, but they're not different as what you are signalizing, right? My God, you don't even know. My God, before somebody comments like that, you need to actually study what these criminal organizations, foreign criminal organizations, have been doing. And ultimately, you need to understand the consequences of this. There's a comment that says, all the places the Americans bombed and made homeless. What does that have to do with what am I talking about? That has nothing to do with what I'm about. God bless you. Focus on the topic. So we're talking about this foreign terrorist organization. Saludos a Larry. Larry, saludos. Saludos para ti. We're talking this foreign terrorist organization that it needs to be designated as a foreign terrorist organization. They were the ones that caused massively, in principles, organizations that caused this disaster into the borders of the United States of America. And it's good that everybody's mentioning. They're mentioning this organization, they're mentioning that organization. Now, a lot of organizations are being designated as foreign terrorist organizations. It's okay, but you're leaving out the main one, that it was smuggling and trafficking humans into, in particular, into the borders of the United States. That is clearly one of the ones that that is clearly need to be designated immediately as a foreign terrorist organization. I don't know why they're waiting so long. Something happened in Colombia not too long ago, right? The president of Colombia is clear with the foreign terrorist organizations or the organized crime in Colombia. And he spoke up to say, I'm not going to receive no migrants deported from Colombia, that you're mistreating them. I'm not going to receive them. You are treat them like humans, and I will receive them when you treat them as so. That particular point and juncture, the Trump administration was going off. They were going off as saying, this is going to be designated as a terrorist organization. Also this one, also this one, also this one. Immediately, Petro, the president of Colombia, shut up when they were doing that. In my speculation and in my theory, it is because The organized crime of Colombia told him, shut the hell up. We don't want to be designated, and we don't want to be on that group. We are here, over here. We're over here doing our thing. Shut up. You're bringing all this heat to us. And if you're going to bring all this heat to us, it is going to have consequences. And we don't want that from the United States for us to be designated as terrorists. We don't want that. Just calm down with your mouth. And ultimately, this had a consequence of why the Trump administration has not designated as a foreign terror organization, a foreign terrorist organization, El Clan del Golfo, when they have done so much harm into Colombia, and not only into Colombia, the distribution of synthetic drugs into the whole continent, but talking about immigration, what they have done to the people of the world, that they pushed through this jungle so they can act point A, point B, point C, and created these tourist packages where they took advantage of a lot of people. It is just, for me, it is incredible that being designated, into, it's not being designated as a foreign terrorist organization. It is, for me, it is, it's when I say incredible, it is not the wow. For me, incredible to mean es increíble. Para nosotros en español, saying incredible in Spanish, for us, it is shocking. Because I have been waiting, and I say, like, well, why is the Trump administration waiting to designate these people that actually caused this crisis? And they were part of all the crisis, with the NGOs, international organizations, all of these people that they were involved. United Nations, UNHCR, OIM, HIA, Doctors Without Borders, all these people, they knew that the organized crime on the other side, those were the ones that they were clearly involved smuggling and trafficking people to Panama in through the jungle. And from there, it was the clear business that it was a gigantic, lucrative business of migrants into the United States of America. So people get upset immediately when you challenge or when you question. And it is not time to stay, it's not the time to be comfortable. It is, I said, there's no time right now to be comfortable. It's a time to be, particularly analyzing what is going on. Because these are the uncomfortable for a lot of us. These were the things that they were, a lot of, a lot of red lights for us. They were, oh my God, what is going on with this? What is going on with that? What is going on with this terrorism? What is going on with this? How they're being manipulated? Why they're trafficking now? They don't not only traffic people. Oscar, you should marry land man, stay in El Salvador. You should marry land man, stay in El Salvador. Well, I don't understand your comment. I don't understood your comment. But not only this terrorist organization was smuggling jungle, but also, why they were smuggling through other routes in the water. And a lot of people lost their lives through this massive disaster through the sea. So it should be something that a lot of people should be talking about. Let me just read right here. Let me put my glasses on. I have a little bit of problems reading. There's one talking about the Daring Gap and all the horrors that took place while the NGOs would aid in the global compact. It's one of the things that it's a concern for me. That's why I started to speak out, and that's why I'm starting to speak up. It's been our jobs for the past, in the 4 years of Biden, but for that 4 more years, it's been 8 years covering this. It's been quite some time now. And when you start to cover this for quite some time, you start asking questions. Just wondering who decided which groups were as terrorists. Well, you have the Trump administration and the cabinet and the anti-terrorism cabinet and all these people that they are part of the Trump administration. I wish that I knew, but this is why I'm asking the question, Trump, why you haven't designated this. And I put the evidence of why, and in the clear evidence I just put on this video. It's possibly innocent people from China, but these innocent people from China, they paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to be smuggled into the United States of America, where right now the whole thing is to focus on TDA. It's not only TDA, it's the whole migration of the that it came into the United States. But not only that, it's also to say, what is happening with this specific entity, Middle East, specific entities, from all parts of the world. Oscar, the deportation paperwork for Kilmar says you can't send him to Guatemala nor El Salvador. Have you looked into that? No, I haven't looked into that, and that is a different topic. Tanis Vega, I don't know what is going on with that specific topic. The only thing that I will ask you before we move forward, Tanis Vega, did Kilmar Abrego came in through the United States through a non-port of entry? And if he is a El Salvador citizen? That's two questions. So you can answer yes, yes, and you can answer yes, no. But did Kilmar Abrego came in illegally through the United States to a non-port of entry? And also if he is a citizen of El Salvador? That's two questions. Why isn't the Trump administration doing several things? Well, that's, that I don't challenge them. I don't criticize them. I'm just asking, typical questions that, I have I think I have a vast experience through years in being in epicenters and in critical situations and critical places where we have studied this like no other. And we understand now this with vast majority of experience. So this is why I ask these questions, why they haven't been designated. I'm with you, Oscar, 100%. No, I know, Tanis, but I'm asking this question, to study more the Kilmar Abrego situation. Abrego, if somebody can answer me this on the chat, the El Salvadorian who was back to El Salvador, did he came in illegally to the United States of America, or did he came in through a non-port of entry? That's my first question. And the second question is he an El Salvador citizen? If you guys can answer me those two questions, I can, basically now have an answer for the situation that he is right now. So, how's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining in. He came in illegally. Yes, he is a El Salvador citizen. Dustin 1000 says that. So if that is the correct answer and it's already been documented, my live feed is going up and down, up and down. It is crazy how they're censoring. Give it a like to the video. Hit that bell button. Tanis Vega, yes. Yes, he came in illegally in 2013 and 2012. Yeah. So let us go to what is the law of the United States. So the law of the United States under Biden, it was not applicable, right? Biden was not applying the immigration law like he wanted to apply it because the global compact on migration had a lot of power in the borders of the United States of America. But he came in illegally. And so in 2012, the global compact on migration was in the work, but it was non-existent still in the Americas. So he came in illegally under the Obama administration. So before we go to further, any further, before we go, if he has the right to stay, doesn't have the right to stay, he has been deported, unfairly, the whatever argument that we are going to use, before we go further than that, hit that bell button, People are watching, hit that bell button. Before we go further than that, Article 8, Section 1325 of the Immigration Law of the United States says that if you come in illegally through a non-port entry, you will be punishable from 12 months to 24 months in the federal system, and then you're going to be returned back to your country. And for the progressive liberals, in harsh ways, you will be deported. So that's Article 8, Section 1325. Article 8, Section 1326, it says, if you came in illegally and re-enter and were deported and you're re-entering again the country of the United States of America, now you're going to be punishable 4 years into 10 years in the federal system. And after that, you're going to be deported into your native country. It is a felony. It is considered to be a felony, right? So if the guy came in illegally, if he came in 1976, and the ICE agency or the Department of Homeland Security or whoever it is wants to take upon the decision to remove him, even if he's a U.S. citizen and he didn't claim the status, because something is that you marry a U.S. citizen and then you become a resident, and then after that you become a citizen, right? But he never claimed status to be regular and to ultimately to be legal. I believe so. And if he came in illegally into the United States of America, the United States government has a justification of 1,000% to remove him from the United States and return him back to El Salvador. If he's an El Salvador citizen, they can return him to El Salvador. Now, when he's in El Salvador, and a lot of people say he's unfairly being removed and being placed in SECOT, the Center of Confinement with Terrorism. Now, that is the responsibility of, that is the ability of the El Salvador government. If the El Salvador government has a found investigation on this individual and they find evidence that he was part of the MS gang, goodbye. They're going to take the decision upon to say, we're not releasing him. And if he wants to and you need to return back, the El Salvador government, they're not going to release an individual that he belonged, quote unquote, to the MS gang. Now he's designated as a terrorist. If he did not belong as into an MS gang, he's deported. So he is going to have to stay in this country in El Salvador, and then Kilmar has to come legally into Mexico, and then in Mexico, he can do his party process into the United States to see if he's going to be eligible to come back, or to try to get, some kind of a permit to enter the country of the United States in another way. I don't know. But in particular, what the system works, it is that way. So right now, El Salvador, it is holding him right now and trying to do an investigation, a profound investigation, to see if they are, in particular, if he was in particular involved with the MS or not, which I'm not involved in the topic of Kilmar Abrego, and I'm not speaking about Kilmar Abrego in a way that it's really simple. If you country illegally, you should be removed by the country because you enter illegal. So it's a consequence. A lot of Mexican people, they go by luck and they go by the fate of God, and let's see how it goes, and hopefully it will go well, and se persinan, and, Dios nos bendiga, and let's God protect us that we will never get deported. Let's say this, right? But you have the consequence, and you have that on your mind. And the consequence and in the mind that you have, it is that I enter the country illegally. One day it could happen. You have that possibility in your mind that is going to be saying it could happen. One day they can remove me. One day they can come and take me. It doesn't. If you have 70 kids, you enter the country illegally. So if you did not claim a legal status, you have that consequence always in the back of your head, and it's never going to let you go to sleep, because it's always going to be that consequence that you enter through the other route, not through the front door. So that's, before any argument, oh, he's a good guy, he was a family guy, this, and that. Before any argument, let's go by what he has done. Did you come into the country illegally through a non-port of entry? Yes, I did. You violated the law, Section 1325. We're actually executing the law on this administration. We're going by asylum. We're not going by the refugee that you entered. You did not claim refugee. You just entered the country illegally. So you're going to be removed from the country because you entered through a non-port. Simple as that. Without getting your feelings hurt, without being a liberal, without being a conservative, without being a right-winger, without being this, without being that. It's just simple. Law of the law, and that's it. Were Mexican authorities involved in naming or not naming certain groups as problematic? Problematic? What do you mean problematic for, Nicholas? You're saying problematic with certain groups, because I can pick a certain group right now outside of my neighborhood And I can say that group is problematic because they are yelling, because they're putting loud music, because they are burning tire, and yes, cartels. Cartels are not problematic, Nicholas. Cartels are terrorists. You have to live our experience, and you have to live what we live. So you have to understand that these organizations are not to be pandered. They're problematic. They're causing some problems. No, they're destroying our lives and destroying society. They are decapitating, dismembering, kidnapping, raping, extracting, extortioning, creating extermination camps. These are not problematic people. These are terrorist organizations. That's what they are. Uh, Mexican authorities were not involved because they don't want to call them terrorists because of the enormous that it will enlighten up, and the actual terrorists are the actual proxies, that they are the cartels. The actual terrorists are the ones that they're wearing the suit and the tie, that they're in government, that they're allowing this to continue. Trish Code says, Oscar, thank you and your fellow journalists for your courage and your wealth of knowledge. We need more people like you report the truth about what's actually going on. Thank you so much. Cartels. Dave Fardine, Ari Oscar, I made a comment on your other video that I deleted. I was confused on who you were talking about. My bad, brother. I deleted them out of respect. Loveless. That's not, no. Don't ever apologize of asking questions. Don't ever apologize. And when I answer, this is the way because I'm passionate about my work. And when you love your work, and this is what we dedicate ourselves to. So don't ever apologize. It's always good to ask a question. And it's always good for you to tell me certain things that you say, no, this is the way it is. And I have to also study, say, and also understand what you say so we can understand each other. This is the needs to be dialogue. It hasn't, and it doesn't have to be, I will punch you in the face and you will punch me in my face. No, if everything would resolve with dialogue, the United States will be, and every country will be great. We will have a lot of things resolved immediately. Understood, but who named them? The Trump administration. You should move to the U.S. You will be welcome. I can't. Trump administration not to speak every action in advance. How many immigrants are living in Mexico? Whew, millions. Trump need not to speak every action in advance. Yes. And I will tell you, you guys know which network I work, right? I work for Real America's Voice News. So I collaborate with Epoch Times, and I collaborate with a lot of networks, around across the whole world. And, these networks go globally by every part. But, I always, when Trump came out and said, going to do mass deportations, I said, that's a mistake. And not a mistake because he's saying it. I understand his feeling and understand what he's trying to do, protect the borders. But it was the mistake to say that the liberals and the globalists and the elitists and the rhinos were going to let him do the mass deportations. And I believe that because and it was all over the place, it created a red flag. And the progressive liberals and the NGOs and the ACLUs and the United Nations and the UNHCRs and other countries prepared. There's what it was coming. So they started preparing with action lawsuits, preparing with lawsuits against the government, preparing with the judges, preparing with the federal judges, reports. They started preparing. And this was a year campaign saying mass deportations. And I'm like, you're giving them a lot of time. And you're giving them a lot of time to prepare to mass deport. And that actually is happening right now. On the worst president that ever the United States had in history, it was Barack Obama, the most racist president towards Latinos and Mexicans. It was the mass deportation because Obama had all the judges in their pockets. And also, to everybody to understand, Obama was part of a construction of prisons for immigrants that no other president had. He created more private prisons that he was part of it, and he was receiving a lot of percentage of money into these private prisons across the whole country. And also, basically transporting immigrants and spending millions in funds to Con Air from, let's say from all the way to the other side of Florida. It was a lot of money that it was being spent because of the enormous business Obama was creating on deporting and then accepting, deporting and accepting, deporting and accepting. This is why illegal reentry was more effective when he was president. And, ultimately that became an enormous business. Oscar, what do you call the ACLU at the bottom of the ocean? Answer: a good thing. What do I call the ACLU at the bottom of the ocean? I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. You tell me that. Well, they should stay there. That's the only thing that we created, like a big neighborhood for them over there, man. Like it's SpongeBob SquarePants over there. You should live over there. That's a good place for you. Nobody's going to you in the bottom of the ocean. Nobody's going to be over there with laws and borders and this. It's all for yourself. Going back to the topic, there's several, criminal organizations who need to be addressed. And, you got cartels like, that they're operating in the border. They were talking about El Noroeste, La Línea. These are small organizations that they actually being controlled by other big organizations, and they are actually being used by organizations in the borders. This is why they don't designate those organizations as immediate responders to be designated as organizations, terrorist organizations, because you're designating the boss or you're designating the ones that are in charge. Simple as that. But when you're talking about Clan del Golfo and cartels in Central and South America, these are the ones that they open the door for this enormous problem to coexist in the central parts of the continent. And ultimately, the number one goal is to go to the United States. So I don't know why they're holding up. I don't know why they're waiting. I don't know why they are in particularly not saying that they are. They have a strategy. Possible making ahead of myself with some other, adjustments and statements. But I intend to understand, and I intend that they have a strategy. As time is flying by, we are in only January, March, April. We're going on it's his fourth month being president. So we cannot, demand everything to be fixed in immediate action 1 month or 2 months. A lot of people are getting mad. A lot of people are getting upset because of the Epstein files not being released the way they're supposed to be. They're questioning Pam Bondi. They're questioning a lot of things. There's a lot of questions, and people are questioning, not judging, not attacking. They're questioning. I'm questioning why this has take so long. Why Alejandro Mayorkas is still a free man. That's the number one question that I'm asking. Why is he still a free man? Why he being brought to Congress, to the Senate to be questioned about now that he is not the Department of Homeland Security chief? These crimes against humanity. Why you were a board member of HIAS and where all the millions of dollars we're going through on these federal grants? Why you were being part of that? I don't understand why, but there's possibly a strategy. Possibly it's happening, and in certain time that we are going to see in the future. I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to criticize, and I'm not going to signalize. Of course, I'm not. But I have questions, and it's okay. It's okay to ask a question. It's okay not to doubt, but I have questions, and I think that I believe that these are good, legitimate questions. Oscar, please take care of yourself. You seem tired. Get some vitamin C, rest, lots of green tea. Yes, we had a big week last week. I moved, so because of that, I'm exhausted. I'm really tired. Is kind of a family tree chart you could draw us to show. Oof, you're talking. That's big. That's huge. I should elaborate something like that, but it's gonna take me weeks possibly to create that family tree. If there's some kind of a family tree chart you could draw us to show how they're all and where China fits in with the fentanyl. China fits. Well, the fentanyl mafia. That is the one that is contaminating not only the U.S. but it's creating a war in Mexico because everybody's fighting over who traffics more fentanyl into the United States of America. And no, I know that. I know Chicago. Thank God I still have my Central American people working with me. I own a construction company and no white, no black, no Chicano. Good. Thank you for mentioning that. Want to work. I still have my Central American people working with me. God bless you, brother. Whatever works, and I'm not here to judge, and I'm not here to say anything about your workers and your company. God bless you, and let God guide you to the right path. Uh, it is safe for Americans to visit toward Mexico. Which part of Mexico you want to visit? Here in Hollywood, our gardening crew didn't show up today. I'm not sure what. Americans and FYI, here in Hollywood, our Spanish gardening crew didn't show up today. I'm not sure what is happening because we used them for years, and I haven't always trusted them. Why you are racially, what is it called? Racially affirming that your gardening crew has to be Latino. Why they cannot? What's going on with you, man? Racial profiling. Uh, I don't know. You're asking the wrong person and the wrong question. I don't know. I'm over here in Tijuana, Mexico. What's going on over there? Uh, Eric, Charles Hewitt is responding. Eric, I own a nation company for 44 years, and you are correct. Now, there goes for the people that then consistently. No, I work construction. I work hard in construction. There goes. So there's a couple of comments right there. They're looking for manfo. So people that want to work in construction and whatever you guys want to do, they're looking for man labor right there. Charles Hewitt, and also Eric. They're looking for man labor in the United States. If you guys looking for a job, there you go. Guadalajara is safe. Guadalajara is beautiful, man. It's safe. Just don't get into problems, and you won't be. Don't get a problem. It's like when they say to you, "I don't got a problem," but if you want a problem, I say problem. So don't get into problems, man. Just go over there. What you got to do? Go into tourist spots. It's safe. There's a couple of places that is not doing good. Acapulco is one of the places that is completely unsafe. It's what it is. My landscaper is the best Latino. Yes, we're not only good in landscaping. We have talent to be doctors, engineers, architects, lawyers, Congress people, senators. So, but we're good at everything that they put us, man. You will put us in the moon, and we will make a house. God bless you. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining in. It is 4:57 Thursday, 24th of April. God bless you. There's buy me a copy. I think it is there. If it's not there, you can look for it. If you guys want to contribute to my independent and travel fund, we're going to be traveling soon. I just moved, so had a lot of things to do. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. But we're trying to do the best that we can. So any questions, people ask me questions. We're 40 minutes and 54 seconds going into the live feed. And if you guys have any questions whatsoever, I'm here. Whatever you guys want to ask. By law, we offer jobs to Native Americans. Even if you offer them good benefits and good salary, they work only for a couple of days and then they quit. Thanks for sharing. Well, chicole. That's sad. Even in TJ or moved. I will say only that I moved for security reasons. Do you trust your president? No. It's not her. It's just the government. Oscar, thank you for your report. You need to rest. No, it's early. It's 5 o'clock in the evening. It's early. I need to go and work more. No. We go to rest around 10, 11 o'clock at night. That's when I lay down and I watch a little bit and I read a little bit. What is the hottest what is the hottest peppers you like? Ay, jole, pues el chile serrano, pues es el mejor, it's the best. That's red, there's a small chile, is a, bird chile. It's a small one like this one, really small. Uh, it's really hot, extremely hot, extremely hot, really, really hot. I don't know, habanero. Also habanero is it's really hot. But habanero I use it for everything, man. I use it for even huevo con jamón, scrambled eggs. I use it for everybody, but not for chile pájaro is something else. What do you think about Tijuana and the sewage? Enormous problem with that. Big problem. Also, we have a big problem with our sewage system. We have a big problem with our roads are completely destroyed. It's really bad. It's we have a big problem, and also when it rains, you can actually see that problem because it's all over the place. It creates a lot of traffic. It creates a lot of problems. Plus, adding that our roads are completely, they're not good. So it's not good at all. Really, I believe that we are really deficient on that. Oscar, someone had a final question last night. Is Tijuana safe for us tourists? Hijo. It depends on where do you want to go. It's safe. It's always been like that, violent. But I will tell you, Mexico just said the other day that Tijuana is the biggest homicide city in terms of cartel activity in the whole country. So that it depends on where do you want to go. Just don't get into problems. Don't get in whatever place. Don't get into problems. You won't be in problems. We use peppers for every meal. Yeah, that's. Watch nature silent the mind. It's wonderful to go to sleep. In AZ, I see many Hispanics working a lot, starting heating, cooling companies. Yeah, that's a good way to start a business. Painting, electrical barbers, landscaping. The kids going to school, polite kids too. God bless you. Thank you, Oscar. Thank you so much, Donna. That's a great comment. I wouldn't go anymore. Well, it's a beautiful city. Sadly, it is being hijacked and taken over by bad people. I live in Tijuana for 20 years, and it's safe as any metro area. There you go, Tijuana border jumper. How you doing? It's safe if you don't get into problems. Don't get into problems. You will be okay. You can go to every taco stand. You can go to nightclubs. Just don't get into problems. That's about it. If you're going to the doctor, the dentist, if you're going to go to Ensenada to get some fish tacos, and if you're going to Rosarito to a nice restaurant that, by the way, I'm going to plug this. Rosarito has become the most beautiful municipal city in terms to culinary restaurants. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what Rosarito is doing. They have beautiful restaurants, beautiful, beachfront restaurants, and also coffee shops. It's a lot of beautiful coffee shops and hidden spots that I have seen that they have beautiful hidden spots for coffee shops. So, whatever you want to go, Rosarito it's beautiful. I like Ensenada, and we used to drive there. Julian, could you please say happy birthday to me, to my friend, to my Mike Hawk? Mike, how you doing? Happy birthday, man. What are you? What are you pushing? How old are you? How you? Happy birthday, Mike. God bless you, and hope that your birthday, and hope that that everybody gives you a lot of gifts, and you're healthy, and you will become a really rich man, not only in your bank but also in your mind and in your heart. He's pushing 36, young as hell, man. So I'm 8 years more older than you, Mike. You're young. Stephen Story, God bless you, Oscar Blue. Thank you so much. God bless you too. Also, give it a like to the video. Can you also say happy birthday to my friend? Many friends you got here on the happy birthday, man. Gina, also happy birthday, Gina. How you doing? Happy birthday to Gina. I don't know how old are you, but God bless. Hope that God provides you abundance and richness in heart. God bless you. So how's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining in. We are it's pronounced Jenna. Oh, somebody's getting mad. Okay, so, sorry, Jenna, happy birthday. Jesus. I'm sorry, brother. Thank you so much for. We are going to. It's Thursday. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a show, possibly produce show, specifically talking about these topics that serious topics about the designations of these organized crime and these criminal groups, foreign terrorist organization. So he's trolling you, Oscar. Oh, okay. Well, nice trolling, Julian. Nice. You did a good job. So we're gonna do a live feed and specifically do a live feed specifically for to inform to everybody what's going on and what's happening. It has been nice talking to you guys. It has been beautiful to talk to you guys. A lot of you guys have seen that I have been reading a little bit of Aramaic in my shorts. I know a little bit of Arabic, not Aramaic. Learn Arabic a little bit. It's not difficult because I practice the Arabic. I practice it for almost 2 years. No, almost 2 years and a half. I practice Arabic. I forgot a lot, but I practice Arabic a lot. So when I read Aramaic, it is not the same, but it's kind of like it is the R. It facilitates for us Latinos a lot when it comes to Arabic and when it comes to Aramaic, Arameo. So it facilitates a lot because you have to do that. So it's kind of like not hard, but it's difficult to remember the words and all that. So I've been doing some shorts, reading some motivational words into us devoting to God and to us finding God and to us is to people that they are, in a way that they are, something possibly in a moment of, final, emotional, whatever you get through. I'm reading those in the most beautiful language that has ever existed. That is Jesus' language. That it was Arameo. So God bless you. Stay safe. Thank you so much. And like we always say, God's plan is our mission. God bless you, people.